Good evening. Welcome to What's Up Wednesday. Near the end of October. It's great to see you here, all my audience friends, whether we're meeting for the first time tonight or we've been longtime friends. Some of you we've even met in person, which is pretty great. Howdy, my name is Scott. Welcome to my YouTube live show called What's Up Wednesday. We do it every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, to help us be better travelers in whatever method of travel you're choosing to do. We used to focus on van life, and we're kind of bringing everybody into the groove these days. So let us know what is on your mind around travel. Let me show you what we're talking about tonight. This may be a short show. It's been a kind of a taxing day. I apologize to Sarah and Tim from Scavenge Parts and Oddities out of Rockford, Illinois. They were supposed to be our guest tonight, and I had to kind of reschedule them at the last minute. So they were very gracious, and we'll have them on soon. They were really looking forward to it, and I just was not able to pull it off today. So we're going a little rogue tonight, if you will. Trying a couple different setups. So I'm sitting in my Winnebago Travato 59GL. Miss Lily is her name. You may know that. And this is my sliding patio door. So I'm kind of changing up the studio a little bit, incorporating some neon lighting and a little bit of candle power. We'll see how this goes. Let me show you the agenda tonight. Again, we're going to keep it real simple. And thank you for joining us and watching the replay. Appreciate that. Let's see. Where am I at, Scott? Oh, yeah, right here. Hang tight. That's funny. So what we want to talk about tonight, when I want to talk about tonight, really, it's a discussion kind of on, ask me anything around, I'm most familiar with van life. I just finished 5 years full-time in my van in April of 2024, a few months back, and just took delivery 6 years ago of this very van. So there's not a lot I haven't run into over the years, or things that haven't run into me, including a pickup truck that ran into the back of me in Fort Worth, Texas, just a little over a year and a half ago. Pretty crazy. So ask me anything. I got a few things to talk about, and here's some ideas if you're needing some ideas. I'm pretty up to speed on a lot of this stuff. I'm pretty excited about that. And next Friday, Halloween Day, we're actually boarding, me and Kyle, my partner of 2.5 decades, nearly, are headed to on a cruise boat to the Panama Canal. We're not going through the canal, we're just going down to it from Florida and then returning, coming back. So I've gotten pretty good over the years of cruising. I enjoy cruising a lot. Let me know if you've been on a cruise before. We'll be doing some content from that because we're going to places we've never been before, including Costa Rica. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I can give you some tips on how I do that. I get to travel for free. What's wrong with that picture? Not a damn thing. Just say it. And so if you got a question for me, this is the question format. If you can help me out there, 3 stars, 3 question marks. That will help me see your question more readily. And if you have a comment you want everybody to see, because I'm going to bring it up on screen, this is how you can help your comment get seen more readily. And this is 3 stars, 3 exclamation points. What's wrong with that? Right? Another thing, give us a thumb up if you're having fun today. Can you believe it's Halloween next week? It just scratches, and then all of a sudden it's going to be Thanksgiving, and then all of a sudden it's going to be Christmas, and then we're into 2025. And I'm certainly eager for the election season to be over. Who's worn out on that topic? Oh my God. That's a different thing. So we're going to say howdy to some folks right off the bat here. Let me just get a few more things. I want to get some announcements made. So hang tight. This is the website, GoSmallLiveLarge.com. It is up to date. I've been working on this a lot today. So go there. That's kind of the home base for everything. And again, we're doing What's Up Wednesdays every week now. This is, I think, episode 187. Next week's going to be fun. I'm thinking of having some, I'm hoping to have some special guests. We're doing live pumpkin carving. So my suggestion is to grab a knife, grab a pumpkin, and let's carve pumpkins together. We'll see how many people I get joining us live, but that will be great fun to carve pumpkins together and maybe even dress up a little bit. Maybe I'll paint my face. I don't know, put camo on my face. That'd be kind of interesting, right? So that's what's on for What's Up Wednesday, Halloween Eve next week. Events real quick. We have a Traveler Zoom. This is for our Patreon True Believers. Our first one is Saturday, November 2. I will be attempting this from a cruise boat or wherever we are on that Saturday, the location. So that's what we're planning. We'll see how the internet gods work from wherever we are, way south of Florida. Roundup. We had talked about doing a roundup next Tuesday at the Anytime Fitness that I am going to and getting personally trained on. However, we've pushed this out to next month. I've pushed this out to Saturday, November 16. I beg your patience on this. We're going to do an Eventbrite, so watch for that on my website in the next day or two. I just need a little more time to pull this together. So much going on. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to do it right for you, for those that are attending, and for the business that's going to give us a little tidbit on how to live more healthy. Nothing wrong with that. So mark your calendars for Saturday the 16th, and we're doing it on Saturday. So I think we'll have more folks versus a Tuesday morning. We're going to do a Saturday morning. So that's going to be great. And Vanbury, this is for our True Believer Patreon members. I got the date wrong last week. Someday I'll figure out how to tell time and read a calendar. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, December 9, 10, 11. It's 2 nights and 3 days. So we come to camp here in the West Palm Beach area on Monday, December 9, and then we depart on Wednesday, the 11th. We're kind of squeezing it in between check-in, check-out Airbnb guests, but we're going to have a ball. So please mark your calendars for that. You do need to be a True Believer member. We're going to do Eventbrite on that as well. I'm going to feed you the first night. We have a great swimming pool. It's going to be great friends. It's going to be a great time. And we might have a bourbon tasting. You never know. So that's kind of what I have, I think, for announcements. Let me look over here quick. Yeah. So let's say howdy to some folks, as in all of you. Oh, there's my thumbnail. I even got the date right. Woohoo! All right. So what I wanted to do is I'm going to show you 2 things quick, and then we'll see if there's questions, what have you. So as I kind of return to traveling after taking the summer off, I've really upgraded my game inside the van. I've reorganized my van, I don't even know how many times, at least 10. And every time I've done it, I've found new space, new ways to do things. And that includes the dishes and the glassware. So I used to have plastic. I just couldn't deal. Drinking out of a plastic goblet was driving me crazy. So, yeah. So it's now glass. You'll ask me, does it rattle? Not really. They're really heavy. I just love these things. It just taking a drink of water is kind of special now, right? And if you don't see your let me flag this quick. If you don't see your country's flag on the map, or you're visiting one of these countries and are watching What's Up Wednesday, real time or on the replay, let us know. That would be great to have you in that. The other thing I've done, I've completely changed my dishes. Again, they're so cool. I couldn't drink bourbon out of a plastic acrylic tumbler thing, right? So, oh yeah, baby, these are crystal, and they too really don't rattle. I might make a video on how to do that. So let's start off with a little libation tonight. It's been a very long day. Again, I apologize to Sarah and Tim. This is 4 Roses. Don't get it on the microphone, Scott. Small batch, available everywhere, reasonably priced. If you have not been to the 4 Roses distillery tour, you're missing out. They're the only ones that kind of do the special yeast blend. So cheers, everybody. Appreciate you being here. This is great. This stuff is just so nice. How many of you saw my bottled my own bottle from the barrel from Whiskey Thief that posted last Sunday? It kind of didn't perform quite as I had hoped, but it was a cool video, and I want to thank I think it was John and Sue that clued me in, because they stayed there as a Harvest Host guest the night before when I visited with them and Justin in Elizabethtown. All right, let's say hi to folks, because that's what tonight's all about. Here's Bill and Joe. Hello, everyone on Woo, getting ready for the roundup at the gym. Yes, please make note. I've moved that. We are not doing it this month. We're doing it Saturday, November 16th. But Bill and Joe, we'd love to have you there. That'd be so great. We've not done one of those since we did like the sunrise, right? Over the sea. There's Eric in the house, Plant City, Florida. Yeah, the temperature's gotten a lot more mild. It's during the day. It used to be in the low 90s. Now it's kind of mid to low 80s. It's still pretty humid out, right? Uh, Good to have you here, sir. Appreciate that. And here's Dale back in San Diego. Last 3 weeks in Charleston, South Carolina. Thanks again for the cabinet video. You are welcome. What he's referring to, I'm not going to flash the camera because it's a complete mess back there because I'm doing projects, including I replaced my own faucet last week. I replaced my own water filter last week. What else did I do? Discovered a new way to do the screening on the bathroom floor. We got all the stuff going on at the properties right now in preparation of leaving for a couple weeks on the cruise. So you're welcome for the cabinet video. I'll try and put that up as a separate video because I think it's important for people to see how you can change a van for $100 versus $100 changing out your van, right? Here's Sharon. Oh, hi. Oh, Sharon, what's up? Beaver Creek, good to see you, ma'am. Here's Sue in the house. Hi from home base in Western New York. Gas is 340, currently 65. High tomorrow is supposed to be 50. Yeah, fall weather. Oh, it's my favorite season of the year, autumn, and we don't get autumn in Florida. It's just one of the biggest downers. The leaves change color, and there's a little bit of a bite in the air, and it smells like autumn, right? I really do miss it. Hi, Sue. Good to see you, ma'am. Hopefully John's right there. Well, I guess he's out traveling, right? You kicked him out of the house again? Here's K3 from Wisconsin. Howdy, ma'am. Good to see you. Appreciate that. Jane and Roger in the house. I was really happy I didn't have to call Roger or Terry for tech support on the faucet. I hope somebody is not coming in my van that's going to wreck this thing behind me. Where's my key? It's outside. Because the door gets open, all this goes bye-bye. So thank you, Roger and Jane, for being here. Appreciate it. David in the house. Hi, yo. Chicago. Yes, sir. Appreciate that. That's so great. Hey, here's Georgia Jack. Future RVer granddaughter born yesterday. Holy cow. Congratulations. How many does that make now? Jack and Pam. Let us know. Congratulations. That's pretty cool. And I've kind of turned the lighting down a little bit in here on purpose because it's fall, it's cozy, it's Halloween season coming up. Here is, speaking of John, there he is. She's a home base West New York, and he's in Birmingham, Alabama. We talked about that on our Patreon Zoom call on Friday, and we gave him a lot of ideas to go see. Oh, you like the Whiskey Thief video? Yeah, it was cool. Thanks again for that. I actually parked that special bottle in the locked bourbon cabinet in one of the Airbnb properties. I've really slimmed my number of offerings in the van. And that was a super, super great experience to pull with the thief, Whiskey Thief, out of the barrel and put it in the bottle on your own with the char and everything. It was really cool. It was really cool. So thanks again for that. That was great. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching the video. Here's Miss Chatter from Punta Gorda, Florida. At least my van wasn't there for the hurricane. Still in Elko. Well, congratulations on that. Yeah, I've not done much follow-up with the folks over there to see how things went. But I'm glad your van wasn't there and you're fine. So that's good. David saying likes the lighting. Yeah, I got some more surprises coming up too around this. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Here's Peggy. Hi, Scott. Newbie, wannabe Peggy from Toronto, Canada. Yes, ma'am. Just came out of Canada, 6 weeks ago? 2 months ago now. Congratulations. Let us know what kind of van you might want. What questions. This is a great audience. Include me to power away at some questions. What's keeping you from doing it? What's the What's the wannabe in you want to be doing? Why you want to do it? Floor plans, lithium, toilets. That's always a fun topic, right? Um, Let us know what how we can help you. That would be great. Here's Endless Epic Adventures, Sarasota, Florida, at Warhouse All Terrain, getting the outdoor kitchen installed. Oh, very cool. Endless Epic Adventures. They were on as part of the VanLife Outfitters open house we attended back in, good Lord, what was it, July, June? June? I need to get them on the show. That would be really cool. Congratulations. I think I think Peggy and Ashley had that installed. I've not seen it on their rig, but congratulations. It looks super cool on the Warhorse van. There's Greg in the house from Illinois. 60 degrees. That sounds so nice. Still have to run the AC overnight here. It just doesn't cool down enough, and the humidity is just, I couldn't survive. Hey, Greg, I think I owe you an email. I saw your email. I owe you a response on your GJs, as I call them, but the van window screens. We might actually do another video on that. But before I do, I will contact you so that we can get the stuff straight. But thank you for being here. Appreciate that. Here's James Young, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Cedar Rapids, Iowa. 279. Gas is, yeah, dropped a lot. Temp is 57. That sounds so beautiful. Just the perfect night to open the windows and, ouch, just let Mother Nature cool you off, right? Cedar Rapids. Have I been? I don't think I have to have been in you know, I've not been in Nebraska, or what was the other one we determined I hadn't been in over there? Yeah, Cedar Rapids. I've been there. It's cool, cool town. Actually, very cool town. Matt in the house. Thank you for using the question format. 3 stars, 3 question marks. Scott, what are your recommendations for traveling with a cat? Get one. In fact, when we get back from the cruise, I'm getting a van cat. I can't take it anymore. Every time I leave the gym, next to it is a pet store. And the cat I have my eye on, his name is, so our previous cat was Luke, VanLife Luke. His name is Jack, VanLife Jack. There's kind of a funny family story that goes around that. But recommendations, I would say, unless you've been with your cat a long time, I think leash training is super important. I would say, although I'm not going to try this time, I'm going to try the Chris and Sandy method of litter box, and that is a tray, like a little plastic storage box. I'm going to put like pellets in that, so it's really small. What I used to use is the Breeze litter system. It was really fantastic. Highly recommend it. It didn't use traditional cat litter, so there was no tracking of the litter throughout the van. It was just big. So leash training, put signs in the window. Thank you, Matt, for asking about cats. I am fired up for cats. I even got the green light from Kyle. He's like, you do whatever you want. I'm like, there's a reason I love you. Excuse me, put a sign in your window that there is a cat inside in a climate-controlled environment, and there are security cameras around and inside your van, and if there's a problem, phone number so somebody can be called. I would really recommend that with dogs. Cats are either going to be snoozing on the seat or snoozing in the back or somewhere like that. What I'm going to do with when I get my cat, we'll make a video about it, but I'm going to try and get him pretty young, so like 6 weeks, so they really don't know anything else other than a collar with the leash, maybe the harness thing. I'm going to try that this time. A leash, and we're going to stay in the van, and just so they get accustomed to it a lot, because he will be traveling. I'm getting a male cat that's been neutered, and all the shots and all that business, right? That's the way the adoptions run. We just have had bad luck with female cats, even spayed. There's just that mother instinct. They want to make a nest. And so those are some recommendations. The other one I would say is, and this probably goes for dogs too, Although I love to support the small family business, which I'm probably where I'm going to get this cat to start with. Having Petco, which is nationwide, that's what we use with VanLife Luke, my cat. They have the records. They have a vet usually associated with them. They have a kenneling program, so you can leave the cat there. There's an app, so it's really kind of nice to have a nationwide network of places that you can get your pet taken care of, get it housed if you need to get away for a little while. So we'll probably do that, and then whatever papers you have from the veterinary, and get that hard copies and put them in a folder so you always have it. Some of the RV parks, I've never, even with Luke, had anybody ask me for it. Cats are kind of like, they're not even, they always say at the RV park or the campground, you got any pets? Yeah, I got a cat. How many dogs? I'm like, I don't have any dogs, I have a cat. Okay, cat's not a pet. But a lot of them require some veterinary, that they've got shots, and what kind of breed is it? So dogs, I would always, and with my cat, always have the veterinary and vaccine paperwork so I could show somebody. And by the way, you kind of need it to get in and out of Canada. FYI, we've been down there. Thank you for that, Matt. Great question. I can't wait to get a cat. I'm a cat dad. What can I say? Let's see. Here's Dale. In Charleston, gas is $2.75. San Diego $4.15. What a difference! Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Great to have you, Dale. This is great. Here's Denim Rue in the house. Good evening from Northeast Georgia. Temp 72. Gas 274. Glad to hear that. There's Endless Epic Ventures. Howdy, y'all. Here's Joe. Joe has got a question here. Joe C. Thank you for using the question format. 3 stars, 3 question marks. How limited do you feel you are with your ProMaster front-wheel drive as opposed to all-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive on other platforms? Very good question. Thank you for asking. I would say, because of my style of travel, I'm really not going off-roading. By that, I haven't missed it. All-wheel drive would be nice, but what was most important for me was the ProMaster width, and I didn't need the height. The other guys, the all-wheel drive Transit, is skinny and tall, and Sprinter is kind of in between, and you're paying the Sprinter premium, which I'm not up to date on this. I should be. I apologize, but I think Sprinter is now all-wheel drive. I'm not sure they make 4-wheel anymore unless there's special stuff going on. Some of you would know better, but I have not felt limited in any way. What I did do, Joe, and many of the audience have done it, it's a great question, is because, and I think this is the Achilles heel of any camper van, unless it's an adventure van that's specifically been built for off-roading, they have a really short ground clearance. So the most expensive, the most what's the right word? Fragile is the wrong word, but most expensive component in the van is my Volta lithium system battery box that hangs off the chassis underneath behind the back axle. And that was the lowest point. It was 6.5 inches off the ground. I lifted my van 3 inches and it made all the difference. So the confidence of me being able to drive really anywhere, unless not severe off-roading, although I've had this van on some pretty severe off-roads before I even got it lifted, made a tremendous difference. So I think by lifting the van and then putting on the BF Goodrich K02 all-terrain tires made a massive difference. I think I'm on my 4th set now, and I can't stress enough how those tires have given me the confidence to go pretty much anywhere that I want without going off-road. But I've been in some sandy situations, I've been in some muddy situations, snowy situations, rainy situations, and these tires have just been bulletproof. I've never had a flat. I've never had a fail. I rotate them religiously. I thank you, Discount Tire, across the nation, right? The only limitation, the only time I've had some discomfort with the front wheel drive is going up a pretty steep incline on a wet pavement. because while the engine's in the front and the RV, all the weight's kind of mid and back of the ship, right? So if you've ever been going up Lookout Mountain in Chattanooga on a rainy day, you know what I'm talking about. And what I've seen there, the tires, there's not enough weight on them. All the weight's back here, so they tend to slip. So I'm aware of that and avoid that situation. But I've really never felt that I was limited in what I could do, where I could go. Um, Hopefully that helps a little bit. Great question. I just love my ProMaster. If I was to buy another van, I would buy the ProMaster chassis immediately. It's just been so bulletproof. And again, it's really square, so the builders can maximize, which is important to me, this interior space. The other guys are kind of like this, and I don't have that hallway feel in my van. It's not as tall interior wise, but I've never felt anything different. Maybe some of the folks that have a ProMaster or some other chassis can chime in too. But great question. Hopefully that helped, Joe. Give us a thumb up. Great crowd here tonight. This is great. Thanks for joining me. Really appreciate it. This is so great. Next week we're doing we're painting our faces and carving pumpkins. That's gonna be pretty wild. Here's Liz. Life is good. Scott and anyone else, where are your top 3 places to camp for 2 weeks or more? Whew. Whew. I would pick the time of the year, and I would put Apache Junction, Lost Dutchman State Park. Now, you really want to be there when it's not hot. There's not much shade, but that's one of my favorite places. 2 weeks or more. So you're probably trying to do some BLM land, boondocking, dry camping. I'm not the experienced guy for that, to be honest. Let's see what's going on here. I'm trying to think. Some of the state parks. There's a great state park in Dallas, Cedar Hills. That's an amazing place, and there's so much to do within a 20-30 minute drive of that state park. It's shady. It's on a lake. It's really superb. There is state parks for 2 weeks. It depends on, are you, I think if you're looking for BLM land, it's going to be out west. Life is good. Maybe some folks can help us out here. I'm just not super experienced staying in 2 weeks at one time. There's some great KOA campgrounds. It's great for like 3, 4, 5 days. There's one near Chattanooga. There's one near Jonesboro, Tennessee. Man, there's some really great ones. But I'm not sure I've ever stayed in a place for 2 weeks, except home base. So let's kind of get back at you. Maybe some folks can help us out. Marcia, been cleaned up in St. Pete. No adjectives to describe destruction. Really, I saw that big construction crane fell down. I'm wondering if it'd be worth it. We got some friends in St. Pete. I should reach out to them. Not touch base with them in a while. See if it's safe to go. Take a look. It's only about a 3 or 4 hour drive from here to over there. I don't want to get in the way of anything. The cleanup is, I assume power's back on. But yeah, it was pretty bad. If we just get through another 6 weeks and hurricane season's over, right? We came through just fine on this side of Florida. The Florida Peninsula. I kept calling it. I'm like, but that is Florida Peninsula. Poor Cedar Key again. Oh my God, Cedar Key, Florida. Oh God. Here is Roads of Life in the house. Good evening, sir. Good to see you both. Here is K3. Just did that cruise 6 months ago on Princess. I think it's Princess. In Panama, the short trip was a wooden canoe to indigenous people that lived in a national park book. If you can get it was great. Yeah, I need to get on it right away so we can start planning this stuff out. We have kind of learned the hard way that some of these excursions are everybody, we see us as ATMs, right? And it's just it's kind of, but that's, I'll have to look into that because we're going to really all new places. So and this is kind of our preparation for. We got a number of big cruises planned next year, including a transatlantic. We're going to fly to Europe, Italy, and then do and then cruise back. So I'm hoping to go see the see the Wingham folks. Here's Victor in Wellington, Florida. See you in Lake Worth Beach. Yes, sir. Please do. If you see me on the road, you can't miss my van. Let me tell you. First of all, I'm doing the speed limit. Second of all, I use my turn signals, and I don't cut people off. If they and please, Victor, come see us November 16 at our Roundup in Boynton Beach at the Anytime Fitness. It's going to be great. I had a really good workout today, and my arm's still a little sore from the other day, so it's good. Thank you for being here, Victor. Appreciate that. Wellington. Hopefully you missed all the tornado action over there. Holy cow. Roads of Life. I knew there had to be a question coming up. Appreciate that, sir. How are things in your neck of the woods after the hurricane? Daughter working at Disney World, and they only closed down one day. I'm really happy to say that we were just outside of the cone, we being West Palm Beach. So we had some wind, like 30-mile-an-hour winds, which is kind of standard around here. Gusts might have hit 50, but it was really nothing severe, and the rain amount was like not even, I don't even think it got 2 inches, even an inch. I mean, I've seen way worse storms just that aren't called anything. So we lucked out down here. Our power did go out here at home base. It does kind of regularly anyway. And portions of Lake Worth and Boynton Beach. Kyle's mother and father lived in Boynton Beach, just like 4 or 5 miles down the road, and their power was out for a better part of the day. Ours was out for about 8 hours. I was all comfy in my Travado because, there's no power, no water, no nothing. I'm just like run off Volta and charge the battery, and I'm like, bring it on, right? But we were really watching and worrying about all the folks who are up north and on the Gulf side. So fortunately, things turned out fine, really fine for us, which is great. Terry's in the house. Cape Point on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Beautiful here. Terry, thank you again for teaching me how to, not you, sir. Siri just went off. Damn it. Letting me watch you install the faucet. I'm happy to say I didn't have to make a tech support call to you. I think I had the same part fail in mine, although it's been 4 years, so kind of about time, right? There's a little seal in the on-off and volume of water coming out. You should be able to untwist that thing and fix a, I don't know, 30-cent O-ring. Nope, I had to buy a whole new thing. I actually bought 2 of them, so in case they ever go out again. And but good to see you, sir. Thank you for being you. Appreciate that. This is just so great. Roads of Life. Do you go on different cruise lines or just one company? Which is your favorite? So here's how I cruise for free. I've got an amazing partner that's really good at blackjack, and he gets all kinds of invites from the casinos. So he's experimented with a number of lines. We seem to like Royal Caribbean and Princess the most. They have really interesting itineraries. They got really nice ships. We found the service to be a little better on Princess. It's a little bit older crowd, although the one we went on in Alaska was from 6 months to 106. The Royal Caribbean ones tend to be kind of more family oriented with all the crazy slides and what have you. So it's kind of whichever casino invitation he gets, how nice is the room and the upgrade can he get. Now he went on one by himself here just recently, and he had a suite. It was like multi-rooms. I can't remember where I was. I think I was in Canada or something. So that's how he does it. So I'm an add-on to the room at no charge. Is by the drink and Wi-Fi package, which he usually wins out of the casino. So we kind of cruise for free. It's pretty nice, and that's one great thing about being in Florida is there's 3 cruise terminals: Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Port Canaveral. So literally, it's an hour drive to Miami to park the car and drag your suitcase to the to the cruise terminal. So preference, I don't. He was on Virgin. He did not like that. I was not on that one. He was on MCS. He said that one was okay, but he just kind of came back to Royal and and Princess. So it kind of goes by ships and itinerary. Um, the Princess cruise we were on last it was a couple years ago now through the Mediterranean was fantastic. Um, so I think kind of like airlines and I don't know campgrounds like KOA. I think if you kind of choose yours, you can start getting status, and those bring perks and points. So um, I think if somebody was to find a line that they cruise line that they enjoy, um, and they found it to be the right itineraries, then I would kind of stick with that. But that's kind of what we've done in the past. Great question as always. I'm kind of excited. It's been I've not been on a cruise since well July, my birthday. All right, end of July. So it's been a couple months. Time for a cruise. Alfred in the house. Rancho Cucamonga. Hola Scott. Hola Alfred. Great to see you, sir. Appreciate that. Two beautiful girls, grandkids. That is so great. Congratulations, Georgia Jack. Here's Roads of Life. And a very important question. What is your favorite bourbon now that you've poured your own right from the barrel? Yeah, that stuff was good. It's a little hot. Let me tell you, it's like 117 proof. Um, it's only available at the distillery. There's a kind of the original location is in near Frankfort, Kentucky, and they do have kind of a retail store with the same experience, but not in the working farm that the Frankfurt store is, and that other location's in Louisville. So I'm not opening that bottle to consume by myself. We'll probably break it out a little bit at the Vanbury in December here at home base. But it was really good. It was a fun video to make, and it was just a super cool experience. I didn't even know you could from the barrel and get the char. And you put your own label or your own bottle. It was so cool. A very important question. It was really lovely. It's really lovely. Whiskey Thief. Look them up, whiskeythief.com. And if you don't know, the Whiskey Thief is the name for that rod that's really a tube that you take it out of the barrel and you put it in a glass. So I learned a lot in that experience. It was great. Oh, look at this. Endless Epic Adventures. This is Peggy and Ashley name change. Well, thank you for cluing us in. How was Austin and everything is associated with Endless Epic Ventures? Name change. I gotta remember that. After meeting you in Canada, we purchased 2023 Travado 59GL. Congratulations, James. That is superb. You got a great vehicle, sir. I'm sure yours will treat you as well as mine has 6 years later. It's still just the best floor plan, even though Winnebago it's a little different up here now. It's congratulations. That is super great. Congratulations. It'd be fun to check in with you, James, in a couple months after you had some trips and see if it's exceeding your expectations, not meeting your expectations. What's the biggest life-changing thing about it? 6 years ago, if you'd asked me, is that van going to change your life? I'm like, hell no. I have no idea. I don't even know how to put water in the thing. I'll never forget the first time I put water in this thing, and maybe you'll do the same thing, James, is there's 2 overflow valves on the water tank. So you can't overfill it and hurt anything because it flows out on these, outbound valves. Somebody will know the name of them. And the first time it started overflowing under the van, I'm like, holy shit, I've broken my system on the first trip. Couldn't believe it. So keep us posted, James. Congratulations, sir. That's amazing. What color did you get it? And most important question is, what's the name of your van? Lori just rescued a dog named Jack. I'd encourage rescue. Yeah, this is a cat rescue. Not a puppy mill, cat mill that's in the pet store. And it's a family-owned single location pet store. But it's a cat rescue, which is really great. I really do. There's actually a cat rescue. Good Lord, I can't remember where. Heart of site. It was so much fun. In the morning, the cats are all like, what? Where's our treats? Yes, 100%. So that's exactly what this is. They just place these cats in various, I think even like Petco has them, but they're all local shelters. Uh, and if you haven't seen, there's a great, I think there's for dogs too, called Cattails. Tales, Cattails on PBS. It's a super, and the dog one's pretty good too, but the cat's really interesting because dogs get all the attention, right? But it's kind of how cats became out of the wild with humans, and they're thinking about us, are thinking about them. There's a very biological connection between cats and humans because of um, their meow. It's a really great program, and Dog Tales is super fascinating too. But yes, thank you, appreciate that. Peggy in the house. Hi, Peggy. I'm looking at a 2019 Heimer 1.0 Pop Top. The seller let me book it in for a complete system check with the technician, but as soon as we get it in is November 13, so it may get sold before then. What I would recommend, congratulations, Peggy. That's a beautiful van. Um, I've seen a few in person, and I know Heimer because the Russos used to travel in a Heimer Active. That's what got me hooked on van life and YouTube and everything else. What I would recommend doing is having a good quality mobile RV tech come to you. You can probably book one in like 1 to 2, 3 days out. We use one here on a couple of the RVs at our property here. They usually charge a trip charge, maybe a diagnostic charge. They often have parts available, so if it's something simple like a Max Air fan, something like that, they usually have those on board whatever vehicle they're bringing out. Worst case, they have to come back again. They don't. We have not seen them charge a trip charge to do the actual work, but I would recommend that. Just do some Google searching in your area. Maybe there's a campground like a KOA or something like that. You can call them and they'll give you recommendations. But that's what I would do. While November 13th sounds like a long way away, I think you're right that it might get sold if it's a good rig at a reasonable price. It might be scooped up underneath you. So I would recommend that. If somebody has some other suggestions, let us know. But I lean in with the mobile RV techs quite often when I'm out on the road alone. Um, it's a good way to get service quick. And if you kind of watch them, don't kind of haunt over them, but if you kind of watch them and ask them questions, you can often learn about your rig from a professional that's not a salesperson. And when you go to an RV dealer, you never get to engage with the people doing the work. It's always a service advisor, right? So it's a great way to learn about the vehicle, and they can point out some things that I think would help you in the long run. So congratulations, Peggy. Keep us posted, please, ma'am, on your purchase. I'm curious to see how your life changes too. Um, like with James, that would be so great. There we go, Peggy. My question, I live in a condo. How important is it to have somewhere to plug in before going on a trip, and after returning, I'll store it in a big RV storage lot? Um, it's probably not a bad idea if you can. Um, it kind of depends what kind of system you have, but if you, I'm just trying to think of what's the best way to answer. Maybe some folks can help. I think if you kind of plug it in the day before, just so everything can come to life, maybe make sure everything's working, get the fridge and freezer cold again, make sure if it has a generator, all that stuff is working. I wouldn't want to drive my car to the storage lot, load up the van, drive off and find the fridge isn't working, right? That'd be kind of a super bummer. Um, and I'm a little spoiled on my Volta lithium system. I don't really have to think about the electricity too much unless it's in cold weather, in which case you definitely want to plug it in and warm it up. Um, I can't remember what Heimer has. It's been a while back. Oh, Gina and Roger are way ahead of me. Good job. Peggy said you got the name perfect. Interesting. Don't touch Heimer systems. So I'd be curious, what system are they nervous about? Maybe it is a lithium system, but I mean, a water pump is a water pump. The toilet's a toilet. cassette totally. I mean, there's some pretty basic RV systems that a lot of camper vans use. So it's the electrical, like a battery situation, that could be unique. Uh, Thank you, Eric. I knew somebody was way smarter than me. So yeah, all-wheel drive is not available for Mercedes anymore, right? Jeff's got a comment here. Well, listen, how are we doing on time? Oh, pretty good. How many more things I got? Oh, we're doing good. Okay. Thanks for being here, Brick. Appreciate it, folks. We got a great group in here. Jeff says, it looks like that 59K has more storage than the 59G. What are your thoughts on that? Um, because of the twin bed arrangement, yes, it definitely has more overhead cabinets. I would argue my underbed in my 59G 2018 up to 2022 makes up for it. And we have a utility closet also behind the bathroom inside the cargo door. So it'd be a kind of an interesting comparison on which actually has more storage. I've added things to my van over the years, including an expedition box from Rover Van Gear that vastly improved the amount of storage for things like the power cables, the water hoses, all that stuff. That's all out of the van now, so that freed up a lot of room. And I've found how to kind of minimize a lot of stuff. What I'm not skimping on anymore is dishes, because I'm weird. Uh, but I think, Jeff, what's really worked for me over the years is my 60-day rule. And I've gotten really lazy about it, I'll be honest. 60-day rule means if I haven't used it, touched it, unless it's a seasonal item or kind of a rescue item like uh, traction devices, um, then it shouldn't be in the van. And ideally, the item should have two purposes. So I might do a storage video because I've really been working on this the last few months, and I can't believe how dumb I was in some of these things. An example is I had my toolbox in a cloth bag under the bed. It was so frustrating to get that thing out. I did use it, I don't know, once, twice a month, maybe. But it'd been in that under storage area, hard to get to, just frustrating, right? Because it's kind of over anyway. And I'm like, let's just take the damn thing out, put it in the storage box, and it fits perfectly. It supports the big power cords. I did the same thing with my heavy gauge extension cord. So if I'm plugging into a household circuit, I had to basically unpack the entire underbed storage compartments to get that damn cable out. So I'm like, and I use it, I don't know, pretty infrequently, right? But now it's in my storage box. And it freed up all this room inside. And it's just so amazing. And thank you, Roger and Jane. So as part of my replacing the faucet and sink, those of you that have a Winnebago product, you have these little plastic cubbies with a door that's really meant to be on the outside of the rig if you look at it closely. But there's kind of two pieces to that. There's the piece that adheres to the wall in the bathroom in mine, that's under the sink in my bathroom, 59G floor plan. And then behind that is the actual cubby, and they kind of one screws into the wall and the other kind of, anyway. So Roger had the genius idea of removing the hard cubby and just using the door and seal that adheres to the bathroom wall. And underneath that sink is completely wasted space. So I probably have in that space under my sink, thank you, Roger, I think I have 3 paper towel rolls of paper towel, 3. And I probably have 6 rolls of toilet paper, and I've got 2 packs of wet wipes that are non-flushable. Don't put them in your toilet. Oh my God. And then I got 2 cans of Lysol disinfecting wipes. All of that in that space was completely useless. So thank you. So I think, Jeff, to your point, it's just kind of, where are the nooks and crannies you can use? Can you repurpose things? Are you really needing that, whatever it is? At one point I had nearly 50 bottles of bourbon in this van. Way too much, even broke my cabinet. So I mean, obvious storage, yeah, I think the K wins, but in the G, um, I think I could actually store as much as a K. Great question. Let's see. Yeah, Pete, great question. I get this a lot. He says, "Hey Scott, if you were buying today, what ProMaster model would you buy? The new one. It's so beautiful. Custom build or mainstream RV builder? Whew. That's a toughie, sir. There's some real pros to buying from the big guys. A good quality builder. Um, nationwide dealer network. Um, you're gonna not get the awesome quality of a custom or near custom. Um, I think you need to kind of figure out, but definitely the new ProMasters. I mean, I got to drive the Embassy RV Dolphin model, which is on the brand new 2023 ProMaster chassis, and I was like, I was taken back. I couldn't believe it. The transmission was always for me the Achilles heel of the ProMaster. It's so not right adjusted. If you're going up a driveway, it downshifts. It just anyway. So if you have a ProMaster, older one, you know what I'm talking about. So I'd choose chassis ProMaster. And it's floor plan, and then you got to think really, Pete, about why do you want to be in a van, and what's your style of travel you think you might want. If you want really premium quality that's going to be problem free, you're probably going to be a custom builder. They're the ones doing the real adventure van stuff, but you're going to be spending 150 to 200 or more $1,000. But you're going to get a really solid van, right? And you're going to get exactly what you want if it's a custom builder. And you'll never get that in the mainstream guide. So there's an example, although the Revels changed a fair amount, I think you pay for it as upgrades. But if you look at Revel versus Storyteller, they're on the same chassis, right? The 19-foot Mercedes, but you're gonna spend 200 grand on a Storyteller, but it's gonna be loaded up with everything, unless you can get the beast mode, which is probably pushing 230, 40, 100,000 now. But everything is factory installed. It's ready to go. You just literally get in it and off you go. Some of the other vans, you spend a lot of money on the accessories, a lot of money on the installation, unless you can do it yourself. And it's not really built by the factory, so it's kind of, Frankenstein's kind of the wrong word, but you kind of get my point, I'm sure. But I would be really hard pressed. And then there's the Wingham that's coming. We're going to see it in person in 2 months, well, in January. It would really be a ball talk. For me, it's floor plan and functionality of the floor plan. That's what's really important to me. And the ProMaster. I don't want diesel. I want gasoline. I'm fine with front wheel drive. I've not changed a thing inside of this van since I picked it up in October, excuse me, 2018, except the faucet in the bathroom. Excuse me. I've done a lot on the outside to give me more functionality, more fashion functionality. So that's a toughie. Maybe somebody's got an answer for Pete, but I'm glad you're here tonight, sir. Hope you join us next week. We're carving pumpkins, because van life's about fun, right? Appreciate that. So here's Peggy. Mobile Life in Kitchener, Ontario. They have staff that used to work at the Heimer plant. Interesting. So that would be a definite resource for you, right? Oh, this is Marcia on the three places to go. Yeah, I've not been here. So Watkin Glen and Finger Lakes, New York, tons of wineries, places to hike. Quartering Glass Museum, and yeah, that corner of the world is actually very pretty. We spent some time up there. There's some beautiful places in Colorado. I could stay for weeks. Even just kind of traveling around the greater Denver and Colorado Springs area. I would probably go bored out of my mind, thank you, Marcia, by just sitting in one place for 2 weeks. Even here at home base, I'm like, I've been driving my van around like a car. I don't know how people do it with just cars, because I get out and I do something, I'm like, I wish I had toilet, generally, take a nap. make a sandwich, just escape, right? Go find a shady spot and just kind of chill. You really can't do that in a car as comfortably as a camper van. So I don't know. Uh, Here's Lyle. Good to see you, Lyle. And your lovely bride. Hi, Scott. Traveling west on I-10 in western Louisiana, saw gas for $2.43. Not used to those numbers. Yeah, well, they make a lot of gasoline and petroleum products in Louisiana, right? And Texas. And who doesn't like 250 a gallon gasoline? Just telling you, right? Uh, hey, Dave. Um, Buenos Sarah? Is that my best good evening in Italiano? Looking for a rear bath, Class B with compost option. Thanks for your comment on the Ram as an excellent man foundation. Will Ram go out of business as with Jeep and Dodge? No, I don't think so. I think they're in pretty good shape. Did Dodge and Ram go out of business? I mean, they're just kind of brands of the same umbrella, right? So good. Did you know, Dave, that the Ram pickup is now the second best-selling pickup in America after Ford, which has always been number one? But the Ram pickup, and Kyle bought one. We bought one a few months ago, and it's a great truck. Chevy got displaced, I think. Everybody's got their favorites. I don't want to call anybody out, but yeah, I think we're fine. Class B with compost. Let me know about why compost. I'm curious about that. I have limited experience, as in. Let's see. See, Pete, thank you. Celebrity. We've not been, or is celebrity. That's the big X, right? There's just so many cruise options these days. I'm really trying to, yeah. I gotta get Kyle. Dear Kyle, are you watching? Please get your casino host busy. This is a beautiful idea. I'd like to do a Star Trek cruise. Wouldn't that be fun? I'm a huge Trekkie. There's kind of two camps, right? Star Wars or Star Trek. I am a Trek guy. In fact, I was watching one of the original Star Trek series from season 3 last night, I think it was. It's Star Trek. Wouldn't that be fun? Maybe a themed night or something. I'm not sure it could take 10 days of everybody walking around and live long and prosper. But that might be fun, right? Love it. Yeah, thumbs up. Thank you, Roads of Life. Appreciate that. How are we doing on time? Here's, oh, holy cow. Roads of Life, super sticker. Thank you. Do I have my jingle jar? I think I do. Thank you, Roads of Life. Appreciate that, sir. It's so great. Lawnmower Lady Kitten Rescue. Yeah, I am so excited. I am so excited. I can't wait. I was this close this last few days of buying it, but we're going on this cruise, and then I got to offload the cat to somebody, and it's just, that's not going to be good for the cat. So, Kitten Rescue, yes, ma'am. Yeah, lithium system. I kind of remember that a little bit. Volt start. It sounds like you're on the right path with the mobile situation. There's probably still forums around Heimer that's got a good baseline. I kind of remember that. Here's K3. I use pine pellets from Tractor Supply. $8 a bag. Works great. That's what Chris and Sandy with their cat Benny have. If I get a cat that's as cool as Benny, or as cool as, excuse me, VanLife Luke, but that's what they use. So they've got a plastic bin from Staples. It's supposed to be like, and they have the things in there. And he's a fairly big cat. Benny is. He's lanky, long, like Luke was. So I'm actually going to try that because I can deal with that back here. I'm curious how they work on the pine scent because that's kind of interesting. But I saw Luke do his thing in all kinds of material when we were out walking him. So maybe it's just yeah, for cat litter. Great. I'm so excited. I'm just so excited. Here's Lonnie. Lonnie, I'm looking at the 59KL new. Do you need to have a mechanic check new ones? I don't know, folks. What are your thoughts on this? Have you got a reputable dealer? Probably not. I'm not even sure they would let a mobile technician come on property to review the rig, but I would do a very thorough. I mean, I would not pick the van up unless everything was perfect. Let me tell you, we learned that lesson the hard way. Two different situations, three different rigs, not my van. OMG. So I would not pick that van up, drive it off the lot until everything was to your satisfaction, which may delay you a little bit. I would, when I'm buying, my advice would be, we did a video on this, is I would, as part of the sales process, meet the manager, general manager, not the sales manager, the general manager, the sales manager, service department manager. And I would meet them in person, tell them what's going on. So I have a personal relationship with them in case there is a problem. That's what I would do. So I don't think they'd let a third party come on site, but I would not take delivery of that vehicle until everything is perfect. And if something goes awry in a few months, that's not uncommon, but at least now you have some degree of relationship. Take a selfie with them and send them to their email addresses and to their phones, mobile phones. So again, it's a personal relationship with them. You're not just a voice on the phone and an angry customer and you drove away and 1 week later, something's not working. That would be my advice I would give myself. So, uh, uh, Bill Sprague, this is the VanLife version of Prairie Home Companion. I appreciate that's a good thing, right? I've not listened to that. Is that on NPR? I've not listened to that in a long time. Bill Sprague, thank you, sir. We're right at time. Let's see how many more questions I got. Excuse me, I don't know why I have this. Well, I do know why. Family version. Thank you, Bill. I think that's really cool of you. I'll go a few more minutes. If you hang in there with me. So here's Bill. Newell Vans is worth a look. 100% agree. I've not seen one in person. Bill or Neil and Britt have one. I think Frisco T is looking at one. I've been in touch with a company. They are now carried by Sunshine State RVs in Gainesville, Florida. I'm really excited to see them. They're going to be at Peace, Love, and Vans in March, which is in Central Florida. And I would definitely take a look at those. I think Road Trek is worth taking a look at. Embassy RV, for sure, is worth looking at. Here's Pete. Thank you. I really liked your Embassy RV video. You did testing them out on a Pleasure Way on tour 2.2, by the way. I'll try to make it to number 16. I live about an hour away. Yeah, come see us. It's always a great weather here in Florida, right? Endless summer. Hot or hotter, more or less humid. But that would be delightful, Pete, to meet you. We've had a lot of great roundups over the years. It's pretty awesome. Pleasure Way is a great rig. I've got the Embassy RV Cape Cod B Plus video coming soon. So watch for that. That was a really cool experience. But I really took a shine to the Embassy RV Dolphin. Particularly the floor plan has one bed and then the cabinet on the other side. So I'm glad you enjoyed that. Appreciate that. Yes, thank you, Georgia Jack. And it's such an improvement. I didn't drive it far or on the highway, but it was a significant improvement. Just a little bit that I drove it on the road. So yeah, Trek rules. I knew I liked you for some reason, Scott. Yes, live long and I could do it with both hands. Live long and prosper. And Captain Kirk, he's still kicking it, man. I think they're all gone, except good old William Shatner. I saw him on a YouTube video that was recorded a few months ago. The old boy's getting up there. He's like in his early to mid 90s now. Holy cow. I love Star Trek. I just love Star Trek. All versions of them, right? The original ones, it's so great what they did with what they had, and the sets are just insanely cheeky, but you think about what they accomplished with what they had and how radical it was in the day, having a multicultural cast. I just love Star Trek. I love Star Trek. Now I know why I like you, Jack. Or Jack. Rob, what's up? Sorry. Here's Shelby saying, hey, and everybody, can't wait to see you guys at Peace, Love, and Vans this March. It's cooling down here in Milwaukee. One of my favorite cities, Milwaukee. Oh, my God. Now, that's someplace I can stay for 2 weeks. Just kind of keep buzzing around, right? Harvest Host, Boondocker Welcome, street camping. That's kind of how I roll. I could spend 2 weeks in Milwaukee, no doubt. This time of year would be great, right? Spring would be fun. There's so many festivals in Milwaukee during the summer, right? It's a great beer town. I love Milwaukee. I love Wisconsin. Hell, I love everywhere I go. That's the problem. That's why we're not stopping. Let's see. Sunny and beautiful fall colors. Home now till February. I miss Van Travelray. I totally get it, right? Oh my God. So funny. So wish I knew wet wipes were not flushable 30 years ago. Yeah, right? Oh my God. And by the way, talking toilets a little bit, right? RV toilets. Thank you, Aaron. Get the non-flushable ones because you can't put them into your RV toilet anyway. The non-flushable ones are a little thicker, a little bigger. You can accomplish a little bit more. They go in the trash. And they cost less, I think. My favorite ones currently are the Target brand. What do they call it? Cool Cucumber. And if you use those, one can extend their days of not having to shower. If you, what do they call that? Wipe the pits in the ditch. Things stay smelling nice. Cool as a cucumber. Yeah, this is a great point Lyle makes. So I like the way Sunshine State RVs, Gainesville, Florida, put you up at the RV park a couple of nights to give you the opportunity to check all the systems, figure out the systems. If you got questions, you go see them back the next day. It's a really beautiful way to go. And a quality dealer should have someplace nearby or even in their back lot for you to do that after you've purchased it, just to make sure everything's working. That's a great point. Thank you. Adi, look at this. Woo! MSC. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Woo! It's a juicy one. Thank you. Appreciate that. Cheers. That light's kind of cool, right? What do you think of the black backdrop? Anybody guess how I did that? Adi, MSC is the best cruise ship we've ever been on. It looks and feels like premium with a price like the cheaper cruise company. Interesting. I'll have to ask Kyle about it. He had a good experience. From what I remember, it was pretty recently he did that. They go out of Port Canaveral. I'm pretty sure that's where he had to go. I think actually the cruise I was on for my birthday was Royal, and he arrived in Fort Lauderdale and departed the same day on MSC from Port Canaveral. So he dropped me off because I was getting ready to go to Canada. I think that was the deal for a road trek. And I think that was the deal. So yeah, he had a similar opinion, which is pretty impressive, right? Thank you, Audie. God love you. Appreciate that. Aaron wants to know, does anyone know when ProMaster will get a 4x4 transmission? Well, the problem is it's front wheel drive, Aaron, so I'm not sure what you mean by 4x4 transmission, but they don't have a drive shaft down the middle of the rig, so the back wheels are just kind of in tow. Bill and Joe. Maybe somebody way smarter than me knows the better answer. Here's Mark. Go for a few more minutes. Everybody's in here now. This is great. Hey, Scott, I'm sorry I joined late. I also travel in a Travado National Park Edition. Where do you predominantly camp, sleep at night? Off-road, commercial, Walmart, residential? Mark, great to have you here, sir. No worries on being late. We're running a little overtime, so we're glad to catch you. You know, I'm kind of an all-of-the-above guy. I travel solo, unless I got my cat. Kyle rarely joins me in the van. So for me to go out into the woods on BLM, Bureau of Land Management land, in complete darkness, in an unknown area, filled with dragons and monsters and werewolves and you know what else, with limited, if any, connectivity. Got myself earlier. It just doesn't doesn't do it for me. So the way I roll is kind of all of the above. So if I'm going to do BLM land, I've done it. It might be for a night, unless I'm with van friends. Traveling with, it's a completely different situation. But I like harvest hosts, commercial properties, cool places. Boondocker Welcome, private property. They'll let you stay many nights. In fact, some of the harvest host sites now, commercial properties like a brewery, a farm, something like that, you can stay several nights now, which is pretty nice. You'll be seeing a video come out from me talking about that because that's new to harvest hosts. I really avoid Walmart unless it's a small town. Most of them in urban areas don't allow overnight parking. I much prefer Cracker Barrel if I'm going to do that. I would actually prefer what I call urban camping, discreet on-street parking for a night. But you can kind of do that in the smaller towns. I've been able to do it in smaller towns, and they can kind of stay in the area, right? If you roll in on a harvest host and you kind of like the area, maybe there's some biking and hiking and shopping and history and stuff. So I kind of, every night I'm moving, but I'm kind of getting to experience everything. Residential, be careful of street camping with that, because I prefer kind of light commercial or like by an apartment complex or near a hotel, because there's a lot of activities. I don't stay in hotel lots. But I call it urban camping. Off-road, some of this audience are really more experienced with the Army Corps of Engineers, is that what it is? And using the BLM type apps. I need to work on that. But if it's a small town, history, architecture, it's got a saloon, got some history. Did I say that? Something interesting, and cool people. I can easily stay a night or two or three. Great question. Glad to have you here, sir. Congratulations on your Travato. Which one do you have, the K or the G? Just curious. Yeah, I don't think Aaron, you'll see a 4x4 because there's no drivetrain. I'm not sure how you do a 4x4 with a front, unless they completely re-engineer the van. I'm not sure what their upside would be, but get your point. Quite imagination. I don't know, sir. I got accosted by the mules out in BLM land the first time, and I'm pretty sure they had fangs, and my cat Luke couldn't even be interested. But and you might have a point here, Eric. Maybe they got 4x4 over there. I don't know. We'll see. Here's Mark. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate your response. I was a week behind you in Heber City, Utah, a few years ago. No way. I can't wait to get to Utah. I'm already mapping out my route plan for next year. I'm hoping to have some giant announcements around that. I can't wait to get back. The problem with Florida, it's cold way down here. It's kind of like Washington State. It's all the way up there. What I need is like a bunch of vans parked all over. All right, Central California. Good to have you. Well, folks, thank you for staying for a little extra few minutes. Let me just see what I have here for you. Again, next week we're going to carve pumpkins, so please join us for that. Grab your friends, grab your spouse, grab a pumpkin, get a knife, grab a libation, and we'll do this. I'm hoping we're going to have some special guests. If we get too many people, we can't do it in the van. That would be interesting. We might do it at a different location, but we'll have multiple cameras and some, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's Halloween Eve. We might make up our faces. That'd be kind of fun for you to do the same thing. We might even open up open mic night. So I'll send you the link. You send me an email. I'll send you the link. You can show what you're doing on your end. We've done that before. Open mic night. That's a lot of fun. So with that, we'll say thank you for joining me for What's Up Wednesday. It's a pleasure to have you here, and we always like to say journey on and peace be with you. We'll see you next week, and there we go. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Appreciate it. Peace be with you.